Hello dear viewers, welcome to this edition of the news in English on Rwanda Television. My name is Sarishan Hore. We'll begin with the headlines. President Paul Kagame has joined the Broadband Commission to mark 15 years of driving the universal broadband connectivity agenda. The Rwanda Mountain Gorilla Rally has been concluded with Saman Vora Singh from Kenya as the overall winner. And on the international scene, at least 50 people, including 15 children, are now known to have been killed in the Texas flash flooding. Now straight to the details. On Sunday afternoon, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Paul Kagame, while in his office at Village Rugwiro here in Kigali, joined members of the United Nations Broadband Commission virtually as they marked 15 years since the global initiative to establish a broadband-based communication framework was launched. He highlighted that although this initiative has contributed significantly to accelerating economic development and spreading knowledge in both rural and urban areas, gaps still remain.
15 years ago, we began with the simple conviction that broadband must reach everyone everywhere because it is an essential driver of sustainable development. At the time, connectivity was out of reach for many people, especially in Africa. Today, broadband powers economies, expands access to knowledge in rural as well as urban areas, and it brings communities closer across continents. Together, we have lowered the cost of access, increased reach, and opened digital pathways for millions of people. However, connectivity gaps remain in coverage and usage. Millions of people remain disconnected, either because networks do not reach them or because other barriers hold them back. The evidence shows us that traditional investment models are not enough if we want to reach low-income users. Our continent is home to a young and talented population who need to be given the means and opportunity to use their creativity. The good news is that we are seeing more and more investment in digital infrastructure, but we can certainly do more. We have to address affordability, digital skills, local content, and gender gaps with the same urgency we give to infrastructure.
President Kagame and Carlos Sim co-chair the UN Broadband Commission, while the anniversary celebration was presided over by the Secretary General of the International Telecommunication Union, Doreen Bogan-Martin. Now, the Convention of Rwandans Living in the U.S. was concluded on Sunday in Dallas, Texas. It was opened the previous evening with a panel discussion focused on Rwandan values and strong collaboration in building a desired future. Speakers included Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Communication, Ambassador Olivier Nduhungirehe, Philippa Kibugo Dekor, the founder of the Breast Cancer Initiative East Africa, Shiba Rujeje, a board member of the Rwandan community abroad in the U.S., and the entrepreneur Philbert Haragirimana. Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Ambassador Olivier Nduhungirehe, expressed optimism about the potential impact of the agreement recently signed between Rwanda and the DRC in Washington. He stated, and I quote, "We agreed that together the FDLR will be dismantled permanently and Rwanda will lift its defensive measures." This is the foundation of the agreement in terms of security, end of quote. Meanwhile, Louise Kayonga, the Deputy CEO of Rwanda's Social Security Board, or RSSB, presented 3 key investment opportunities here in Rwanda that the diaspora could leverage in the near future. She explained the Ejo Heza supplementary pension scheme, outlined housing development projects, and discussed the creation of a fund that will launch with an initial capital of $30 million to support small and medium-sized enterprises, with the goal of growing it to $100 million. Various financial service providers also participated, sending representatives to inform Rwandans abroad about available services and opportunities. The event, dubbed the Rwanda Convention 2025, brought together Rwandans from across the globe. It was the first such convention in 6 years, featuring discussions on the diaspora's contribution to national development and updates on Rwanda's overall progress. Now, over the 31 years since Rwanda's liberation, both Rwandan and foreign investors affirm that the government has played a pivotal role in driving investment, particularly through the development of key infrastructures such as conference venues, sports facilities, and entertainment spaces that also boost tourism. One such investor is George Dinga Tafon from Cameroon, who is injecting up to 85 billion Rwandan francs into Rwanda's housing sector. Between 2025 and 2027, he plans to complete a housing project with 1,120 mid and upper range units. Meanwhile, Rwandan entrepreneur Frank Martin Nyabundara is investing nearly 30 billion in Nebu Industries Limited, a factory producing cooking oil and soaps.
Very possible to have affordable houses, and people can be able to stay in affordable houses, not only expensive neighborhoods. You can already see people are already staying in most of the houses that we have built. So it's planned that by September of this year, we should be able to have achieved 146 houses, and of those houses, 106 are affordable and 40 are non-affordable. So the reason for the non-affordable is to also try to support to create that community where you have also people from high-end living with people with middle and low income. So we create that mixed-use community where people can thrive and live together. We intend to invest and build affordable houses for the next 10 to 20 years in Rwanda. So you can see just for the 3 years that we have been operating, see the number of houses that we have put in the pipeline. So approximately we are of the capacity of even developing a minimum of 500 houses every year in Rwanda.
We have been in the market for the last 6 years in manufacturing of oil, and as you have seen, we are trying to expand or to have a bigger project which is in existence now. Almost we are soon commissioning it, and our products have been all over the market of East Africa. We are exporting to Tanzania, some parts of Tanzania, some parts of Sudan, and our nearby Congo. And we intend to expand our products to Southern Africa. There's a very good market there. We want to have an impact to liberate ourselves from just being a market to other countries, but also to manufacture for other countries. We are here to make to solve solutions of edible oil or other essentials like soap.
Following the devastation of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, Rwanda's economy shrunk by as much as 11.4%. Since then, sustained growth between 7 and 10% annually has been attributed to factors like increased investment. The veteran investors also testify to how far Rwanda has progressed in creating a conducive investment environment.
Once you have sectors, the productive sectors growing, mining is growing, agriculture is growing, tourism is growing, education is also growing. It has also become very economical. Yes, so education is expanding and growing. You look at different other interesting sectors. So I think we are on the right track, and we just need to remain focused and know that the economic liberation that we got is what will take us to the next level. Of course, we need to be the next level of income. Every day we need a per capita of $2,000, $3,000. The aspiration currently, I think, is $3,000. That's where the national aspiration is. So we need to get there.
Dennis Carrera speaking there. Now, in the hospitality sector, joint investments from the government and private sector, that is private players, have yielded growth in hotel infrastructure. Radisson Blu, Marriott, Serena, 4 Points by Sheraton, and others. The number of hotel rooms rose from 17,078 in 2020 to 21,232 in 2023, marking an increase of 4,154 rooms in just 3 years, according to the National Institute of Statistics. Employees in the hospitality sector also report improvements in their livelihoods.
To me, I personally, of course, I get paid and I use that money for my school fees. I'm a college student, for my school fees, for my daily needs, for my transport, and even to help my family to acquire some home needs.
Hospitality and tourism, it has helped me a lot in my career, in my personal life, and even my family. True skills that I got from here in Rwanda, hospitality and tourism, I think I'm able to work on international market.
Now, figures from the Rwanda Development Board indicate that in 2024, the country attracted $3.2 billion in investments, a 32.4% increase compared to 2023. To support and accelerate this growth, by 2026, 460 public services from 24 institutions will be accessible digitally. Streamlining processes for investors. According to Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente, the growing number of local and international private investors is expanding employment opportunities significantly. One of the flagship infrastructure investments has been the BK Arena, constructed at over $100 million, accommodating over 1 million visitors per year. In the past 4 years alone, it has hosted events valued at up to $50 million, employing over 16,000 people in 2024. Similarly, revamped stadiums like the Amahoro Stadium are renovated at a cost of $165 million, and the Kigali Convention Center, built at around 300 billion Rwandan francs, have become hubs for international conferences and entertainment, generating between 15 and 20 billion Rwandan francs annually. In 2022, sports-related tourism accounted for 14% of revenue from conference-driven tourism activities. These activities collectively highlighted the critical role of public-private partnerships in rebuilding and propelling Rwanda's economic and infrastructural development since its liberation. Now, economic analysts point out that Rwanda's tourism sector and the revenue it generates have played a significant role in the country's economic development over the last 31 years since the country was liberated. We have more with Enola Gladys Benimana.
31 years, tourism has contributed to development, especially through national parks, including those established after liberation, such as Gishwati Mukura National Park. Analysts emphasize that tourism has been a key pillar of growth.
Tourism sector has grown very exponentially in the last 10-20 years, because when you see the number of tourists coming to Rwanda, if you see the reason of people coming to Rwanda, you know, the aspect of diversification, you know, the number has gone very high, and I expect the number continue growing, because there are so many reasons of people to come to Rwanda. So just to start with a few numbers, you know, tourism sector is contributing around 10% of the GDP, which is a lot. You know, if you see the growth of tourism sector contribution, and then by considering the number employed in this tourism sector, it's a lot. We are talking about 400,000 people employed with direct jobs, but also connected job in the tourism industry. And we could say that tourism industry is also growing. It's growing its scope. Like starting with the hotel industry, tourist destination, and then transport, and so many other related services like the restaurant, and so many. Entertainment sector is also connected to the tourism industry, and all those different sectors are, like growing every other year.
One way of reconstructing the country was to make sure that we have money. And one of the sectors that contributed a lot to the development of the country is tourism. The World Tourism Center actually in this June, has issued a report saying that in 2024, last year, the tourism has contributed to up to 1.9 billion of Rwandan francs to the economy. That's around 9.8%. That's a lot of money.
Since 2018, the Rwanda Development Board has launched a program aimed at increasing tourism revenues, branded Visit Rwanda, promoted through various initiatives including sports partnership. The impact of Visit Rwanda campaign is evident, including for those working in national parks.
Visit Rwanda really raised the visibility of the country. Rwanda is known as a destination. Through Visit Rwanda, we saw like superstars flying in to see Rwanda. Through Visit Rwanda, every time when there is international soccer competition, especially in the European League, and we see Visit Rwanda being branded everywhere. On one side there is a lot of investment done, but also on the other side there is a lot of gain. So to be known, to have a brand, actually a branding is very important in tourism sector, but more so for the big market. When we talk about tourists, we are talking about people who have enough resources to visit the country, spend some time and spend. And I'm sure Visit Rwanda is one of those strategies reaching to those niche of people who have money, have time, and really want to spend half of their vacation somewhere. Actually, when you analyze the tourism sector, you don't see it in a very isolated manner. You see it in a very comprehensive manner, because when you talk about tourism, there is infrastructure related to tourism, like roads accessing to the tourist sites, road connecting to different destinations. It's very important. And much as tourism was growing, related infrastructure were growing in that direction.
The head of Department of Biodiversity Conservation at RDB, Mutangana Eugene, explains that national parks have been a catalyst in the country's development over the past 31 years. Rwanda's national parks experienced strong growth in 2024, with visitor numbers rising by 10.7% and revenues increasing by 8.5%. This growth was led by Nyungwe National Park, which saw a 20% surge in visitors, followed by Volcanoes National Park with 11.3% and Akagera National Park with 6.8%. Total park visits and revenue, visitor numbers reached 150,500, generating $38.8 million, up from $35.8 million in 2023. Gorilla tourism growth remained a key attraction, with a 9.4% increase in visitors to Volcanoes National Park. Domestic tourism and revenues climbed to $54,800, while domestic park revenues remained stable at $793,000, demonstrating continued local interest in Rwanda's natural heritage. With sustainable investment in conservation and tourism experience, Rwanda's national parks continue to attract visitors from around the world while strengthening local engagement in ecotourism. Enro Gladys, RTV News.
Thank you, Enola. Our leather product artisans here in Rwanda say that they're now capable of producing footwear suitable for security institutions thanks to training they received from the African Leather and Leather Products Institute. The training focused on aligning shoe designs with client preferences, selecting high-quality leather and crafting products, particularly shoes suitable for use by military and police forces. Trainees also gained insights into how these products can compete on international markets. According to the lead trainer, the goal is to equip leather workers across Africa with skills to process leather locally, noting that a lot of valuable leather on the continent goes to waste despite being of exceptional quality.
ALP is a multidisciplinary institution that is mandated by the Council of Ministers, actually even the heads of states of the COMESA member states, to help develop the leather sectors of the COMESA member states. So we have a range of programs that we offer in the ALP member states, because we currently have 10 subscribing members, and I must appreciate the fact that Rwanda is our member country and is supporting ALP activities. This is the more reason why we are here. We are in capacity building programs. We train entrepreneurs in the member states that are involved in the leather sector, and some of the programs that we are offering are such as product design and development, which is one of the programs that we've been doing the whole of this week. We have programs in clustering and business ecosystems development. We have programs in leather sustainability, where we are ensuring that the processing of leather as well as leather products does not affect the environment, because currently we are aware that we have our customers that really want, what we call greener products that are not going to harm them, but products that are supposed to, protect them and actually improve even their living styles. So these are some of the programs that we are offering. We also do provide technical support for development of enterprises, or maybe setting up of tanneries or factories in the member states. So we have a wide range of activities as an institution. I would say that even as we have reached at the end of this program, really I'm going out of this country a happy person, because I know that we have achieved what we came to do. And also I really want to thank the government of Rwanda for giving us the support as usual, which has enabled us to be able to provide training to as many SMEs as possible in the country. And also Rwanda is a country that has supported ALP, especially in providing resources for its operations. And I would say that on behalf of our Executive Director, Mr. Nicholas Mdungwe, we are really grateful to the government of Rwanda. We are also grateful to the private sector, as you've been able to see our a hard-working chairman for the association has been here from the beginning up to the end, and this really is the kind of commitment that we need. The youths as well as the entrepreneurs are very enthusiastic to learn and to do new things and to develop the sector. And I think together, if we work objectively, we should be able to see a lot of changes at the end of the day. We should be able to see, Rwanda becoming self-sufficient in terms of having leather products produced locally and also sold on the local market. And this is what we want to achieve at the end of the day.
The Rwanda Mountain Gorilla Rally for this year has been concluded with Saman Vora Singh from Kenya as the overall winner, and Davite Giancarlo, as well as co-driver Sandrine Isheja, as the winners of the national championship, and second overall, William Evans Mutabazi with more.
The 2025 Rwanda Mountain Gorilla Rally was the third event on this year's ARC calendar. Over the 3 days, Saman Bora and his co-driver Drew Starlock dominated the race, winning it with a total time of 1 hour, 45 minutes and 59 seconds, earning 35 points, which add to the 36 points he already had before the event. At the national level, Giancarlo Davite and his co-driver Iseja Sandrine Utera, driving a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo X, finished ahead of all other local competitors with a total time of 2 hours.
The race was good. The final result was frankly unexpected due to the cars coming from Kenya, Uganda, superior cars that we had. That's what we have here, but casualties in rally always happen. So we were targeting the first national position definitely, but we were never targeting the second one in the overall. So what we did today, it's a great achievement. We are very proud, we are very glad, and Sandrine did very well as a co-driver. She did very well, and she assisted me very well. It was very fast. It was a very fast track. The roads are very fast, so you have to follow very quickly the notes, and you have to keep the rhythm, and she did it. So we are very glad for everything.
Following a great performance from the Rwandan team, President of Rwanda Automobile Club says it is time to work together with the drivers to secure more powerful cars and grow the sport even further.
In all, the event was successful. We got very positive feedback from the drivers, from the officials who came from the International Federation. I would say that even on our side as the organizers, we are happy, especially because when we finished the event without an incident, it's a good sign. But also on top of that, we saw I can say the best performance from the local drivers, really, because technically if you compare the type of cars they're driving and the times they were making versus the current team that is doing the African Rally Championship, I can say that it's a demonstration of skills that's available in the country. So now what I can say next is to make sure that we go to the next level. The next level is to get better machines, better cars that are competitive, because it's very hard, even if you are talented or you are the best driver, to beat these cars. It's close to impossible. So now we need to make sure that we compete at the same level, but also we compete with the same or similar machines.
This year's edition featured 20 cars, including 5 competing for points in the African Rally Championship and 15 racing for points at the national level. Competitors covered a total competitive distance of 239 kilometers. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
Moments. Playing hoops. Getting away. Making moves. Breakfast with family. Inyanje is always there. Whatever the occasion, whatever the moment, always ask for Inyanje.
Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo wagira umukamo mwinshi utunze inka, ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi harabamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho, ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. Njya muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza naturuka mu muryango wifashisha, ariko byarangiye nanditse amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema, ariko narabishoboye. hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abankomokaho, ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye zibimamo. Bigereho.
Muyobozi wa sosiyete, turakwibutsa ko buri sosiyete isabwa n'itegeko kubika ibitabo bya sosiyete ndetse no gushyikiriza RDB amakuru abikubiyemo. Ibyo bitabo birimo igitabo cy'abanyamigabane, icy'abagenewe inyungu ku migabane, inyandiko y'amakuru ya sosiyete, ibaruramari ngarukamwaka n'izindi. Gutanga amakuru y'ugenewe inyungu ku migabane wanyura kuri bo.rdb.rw, naho gutanga izindi nyandiko ukanyura kuri org.rdb.rw.
At least 50 people, including 15 children, are now known to have been killed in the Texas flash floods. Rescue teams are searching for more than 20 girls still missing from a summer camp that was struck by fast-flowing waters. The floods swept through south-central Texas. Children and adults slept as months' worth of rain fell in just a few hours. DW News with the details.
Rescue efforts continue near Camp Mystic as crews search for children missing since a massive flash flood struck early on Friday morning. The hunt for survivors has led to some grim discoveries.
We have recovered 43 deceased individuals in Kerr County. Among these who are deceased, we have 28 adults and 15 children. 12 adults pending identification and 5 children are pending identification at this time.
Rescuers are refusing to give up hope.
We will be relentless in going after and ensuring that we locate every single person who's been a victim of this flooding event.
To deal with the scope of the disaster, Texas Governor Greg Abbott requested additional federal resources from President Donald Trump. U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem underlined the federal response to the disaster.
Know that President Trump is absolutely heartbroken by what has happened here in Texas, and he wanted to make sure that all of you know how much he loves Texas, how much he's grieving for your families that have lost someone and the beautiful children that we're still looking for and hoping to return to their families, and that he is absolutely committed to using all the resources of the federal government to help unify families, rescue all those that were still missing, and return those who maybe we will recover back to their families as soon as possible.
But some are wondering if federal job cuts to weather agencies may have compromised Texas's readiness for severe weather.
Because a lot of the weather forecast offices now are not operating at full complement of staff, which means that you're really putting an extra burden on these folks. And that's what's happening at NOAA, is these are outstanding scientists, wonderful technicians, terrific policy folks, but if we don't have enough of them doing the job, then something falls off the table.
A flood watch is still in effect for the area, as more showers and thunderstorms are expected.
Before we go, another look at the headlines. President Paul Kagame has joined the Broadband Commission to mark 15 years of driving the universal broadband connectivity agenda. The Rwanda Mountain Gorilla Rally 2025 has been concluded with Saman Vora Singh from Kenya as the overall winner. And at least 50 people, including 15 children, are now known to have been killed in flash flooding in Texas. Thank you for joining us for this edition of the news. I hope you stay with Rwanda Television, and goodbye.